Welcome to Illo Talk, 100 Days of Animation, Day 6. I'm Cory Kerr, and I'm spending a minimum of 30 minutes every day for 100 days straight working on finishing my animated short film. I've never done animation before, and so I'm gonna do a short film. Today was kind of weird. I worked on this. Can't tell if I can see my finger. So, basically, you're going to watch me flat this and color it. And I went a little further than I wanted to, but I think it'll work because it's the poster on the wall, and so it doesn't exactly match the vector style that everything else is, but it's more of a printed piece. In any case. So, today was weird, and I'm a little stressed out. I don't normally get stressed out, but started off lecturing for quite a few hours, from 8 to 1 o'clock with no breaks. So, that's a lot. What is that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 5 hours straight, no breaks. That's kind of tiring. I'm always shocked at how kind of emotionally and physically exhausting like teaching is. You're just talking. It shouldn't be that hard, but it takes a lot out of me. Anyway, it's fun. I like it. Then I came home and immediately started working on this, which is great. And I was exhausted and took a nap and started working on this again. And when I woke up from my nap, like, the internet was weird. All kinds of weird reports and everything going on. And Trump possibly, I don't know, all kinds of weird stuff. Anyway, lots of reports about Trump and Putin and all that and whatever. And in the middle of that, I am creating this political animated short about, you know, this dictator's rise to power, the guy that you're seeing on the screen right now, and the propaganda that he's using and how he's manipulating the media and things like that. And it's just kind of a surreal thing to be making something while some of that is happening. And then, in addition to that, even, I like listening to audiobooks, and I also like listening to lectures and stuff. I think I was telling you about the French Revolution. Well, I listened to several hours of like Napoleon Bonaparte, old Brony, taking over Europe. And so, I don't know, it was a lot of despotism, intrigue, demagoguery, some of it real, some of it cartoon insects, some of it historical reality from a long time ago. And anyway, the more and more that I study history, the more I study ancient Greece and Rome and Egypt, and in the more recent past, the American Revolution and the French Revolution. And I mean, France like had this huge revolution. I mean, heads rolled every day. It was crazy. And the whole point of the revolution was to get rid of the ruling class and kind of install a republic where everybody got to vote and stuff. And even at the time, though this was unheard of at the time, there were even cities and provinces in France where there were women voting. I mean, it was pretty progressive. And then kind of a series of events happened, and they voted for an emperor. Like, it wasn't that Napoleon like showed up and threatened everybody or whatever. It was like they said, you know what? This whole like freedom thing, it isn't all it's cracked up to be. Let's have an emperor. Anyway, I've just come to realize that I think in a lot of the free nations of the world, in America, many parts of Europe, the UK, we take freedom as a given. We take the ability to vote and control our own destiny and not be ruled by some sort of tyrant, dictator, heretical rule by birthright as kind of a given, and it is not a given. I really think we are no more than one generation away at any given time from becoming cannibals and eating each other. And that sounds super extreme, but I'm not exaggerating. I really think that humanity is not as advanced as we think. And I don't say that to be negative. I say that to be like, we need to be constantly on our guard that we retain our humanity, we retain our goodness, and we retain our freedoms and liberties and kindness, so that we don't just become evil. I mean, at one point in time, the French Revolution, they were like, you know what? The Americans kind of got this thing going on, and Franklin's over here, and Thomas Jefferson's over here, and I like those dudes, and I'm not sure I want a king anymore. And so they got rid of their king, right? And the way they did that was kind of weird, but at the same time, they weren't cool with the king. And, you know, that's a good idea. Voting and individual liberties. I mean, they freed slaves. There was kind of an abolition of slavery movement. There was all these rights where, you know, the Catholic Church at the time had kind of gone out of control, and they kind of reined a lot of that in. And it was a good thing. And it just naturally progressed where everybody was terrified of everybody else, and they started killing each other. Just killing each other. Because they wanted good things. They wanted to be free, and they wanted to be able to choose for themselves, and they wanted to be able to do things not because they were born to do them, but because they chose to do them. If there was a dude that wanted to be a blacksmith, you could just be a blacksmith rather than like having to be born into a situation where you earned an apprenticeship or it was your right by birth or whatever. You could like choose stuff. They were based on good things, and yet it resulted in the guillotines overflowing with blood because of the amount of beheadings that were happening literally on a daily basis because of a government instituted thing. And that was not like some crazy place. That wasn't like, you know, deep in the jungle or somewhere off in the middle of nowhere. That was France. I think it could happen anywhere. I don't think anyone is immune to it. And so the point of this is, I just think that we just need to be aware of people that are trying to centralize power. And I'm not being political here from a party standpoint, because I actually think the left and the right do this. And anybody who tries to consolidate power and avoids checks and balances, beware of that person. Anyway, it's kind of a downer of a episode, but I'll talk about this poster for a little bit. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing me color poster, the propaganda poster. I'm going with traditional propaganda colors of kind of an off-white, a yellow, blue, and red situation. The red flag being very prominent. And then you have kind of the younger, you know, more weaker, more beautiful, and more fragile kind of creatures that are kind of worshiping in a kind of a lower than but worshipful situation. And so it puts this politician, this dictator, this guy, kind of in a position where, oh, the women and the children love him, and so he must be awesome, right? He's the one that's holding the flag of the revolution and whatnot, and he's going to lead the people to glory. It's kind of this Christ posed mixed with a lot of the imagery that you see in Stalin and Lenin and Hitler, Mao, those type of kind of political demagogues. Anyway, so it's a fun image to create. It's going to be used for kind of a background element in the opening scene of my animated short film, which I've yet to name. I also haven't come up with anything for what is going to go on the banner, because I'm trying to avoid writing, but at the same time, I think like doing symbols might look like emojis, and that seems a little cheesy and kind of topical, and I'd like this to be a little bit more timeless. And so I might just put words on there. But then if I do put words on there, I'm not sure what words I'm going to put on there. So that is a problem for another day. Anyway, got in a lot more time than 30 minutes today, which is cool. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment. Let me know that you're watching. If you have any questions about anything, I'll answer them as best I can. You can also hit me up on Twitter at Cory Kerr. You can hit me up on Instagram at Cory and the letter R Kerr, Cory R Kerr. YouTube, Cory Kerr Art. And all of those social media channels are in the description of this video. And you can also find everything on corykerr.com, CoryKerr.com. So I'll catch you guys later. This was day 6 of 100 Days of Animation, Season 1, Illo Talk.